Shamans, and thank you for joining us here live on YouTube. It is January 20th, 2024, and we're going to be discussing shamanism and the outlook of shamanism for 2024. The guest today is Queen of Sparta herself, Miss Evangeline Hemrick. So welcome, Evangeline, to the show. Thank you for being here and giving up 30 minutes of your Saturday.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm honored and delighted to be with you.
Oh, wonderful. And I know it's going to be tough to just do this in 30 minutes because I'm a talkative Sagittarius and we know you're a Pisces, so you definitely know you can speak. So, but we'll try to just limit to 30 minutes because I know folks are busy and they got things to do. So Evangeline then, she is the ordained minister or abbot of Evangeline Hemrick Ministries. You have a whole host of things you do. You're a multimedia teacher, you're a minister, you're a healer, you're a shaman, a podcaster, an author, a speaker, content creator. Is there anything else I missed? What else do you do?
That sounds pretty good.
Okay, good. So let's just say you do lots of stuff as far as mind, body, and spirit. And of course, as an ascended shaman, that's exactly what all of us want to be doing. So thank you for all the myriad of platforms you're on. Would you just give us a list of the platforms you're currently on? We know you're on YouTube. Where else are you?
Yeah, I'm really enjoying YouTube too. YouTube is a new one for me, and I love the receptivity and the connections being made on YouTube. Definitely love Instagram and Facebook, and also have my website, evangelinehemrick.com.
Oh, that's wonderful. And for all the contact info, I have all that in the show notes down below. So that way you can find all the contact for Earth Star Spiritual Center, for me, Dale Stacy, Jeannie Stacy, my wife. And also you can go to our website, find out all the things we're doing, all the links to our books, and also for all of Evangeline's information, all below in the show notes. Okay, thank you. So today then, 2024. It's so auspicious that we met today. I was hoping we could do it today. That was great because I know yesterday was the Bodhi day, so that's a special day too. But today is the first day of Aquarius, and we're launching our new studio. So you can see my backdrop here. I've got my little galactic spiral, and I was hoping that you would be the first interview we did in our new studio. So we made that happen, and being the first day of Aquarius, well, the energy was just perfect. This is the day to reach out into cyberspace because that's what Aquarius is all about. Because, you know, when Capricorn came in on winter solstice, it kind of set the tone for the year, right? A new year, an evolved year, because we're in the 8th year. Let me do an 8 on the screen, right? So 2024, 2 plus 2 plus 4 equals 8. So this is a year of harmony. This is a year of living and reliving and recycling and regenerating all this wonderful energy that's going on. But I wanted to wait to Aquarius because I wanted this foundation for Aquarius to be the spark, the ignition point for Earth Star Simply Shaman Studio. So thank you for being here today with all your wisdom, all the things you've been doing. So as far as 2024, what are the intuitive insights you have about this year and how we can integrate our shamanic essence and presence to create this wonderful shamanic destiny of ascension that we all have?
Ooh, what a great question on the perfect day. You did choose such alignment for us to kick off everything that you're doing. It's so exciting. I'm incredibly excited to be alive right now and to be assisting, teaching, and leading as we both do, and teaching the teachers and helping the leaders of their own communities usher in what we always just speculated about before, when we would learn about the Hopi prophecy and we would hear about Age of Aquarius in the past, and now we've stepped into these new times. And what I'm the most excited about is I can now help spiritual entrepreneurs, people that they knew they were meant to lead, and they knew that they were born to serve humanity and help this world, but we were ahead of our time. And so that was very difficult for a lot of us. And now it's our time, and things are going to be a lot more supportive for people like us.
Oh, that's wonderful. And, you know, we've often heard that, we're the ones that we've been waiting for. All the ancient prophecies said that people would awaken, people would show up with their specific earth superpowers. And when I say that, I mean that we're talking about our abilities, our gifts, our goals, our powers, our skills, our talents. So as awakened shamans, we want to make sure that we enjoy this year because this is a wonderful year of awakening of not only earth consciousness, but dimensional consciousness and even galactic consciousness. We're flowing, when we go around our galactic year, it takes us around 250 million years to make that great revolution. Well, just think the last time we were here on this spot of the galactic year, I mean, there were probably dinosaurs roaming all over the place 250 million years ago. So now we have a new way of being here on Earth, and that is being the shaman of a new dimension, a new density. Because who knows, we make our way to 4D, 5D, and beyond, and maybe return back to our home density. And we use the word dimension kind of interchangeably with that, but really it's a density because we're talking about levels of light, right? When you think about God, our one infinite creator, that is use improper English here. It's the most densest of light it possibly can be is God, right? So, and as we move farther away from God, as we expand away from God, we find ourselves in these densities. So here we are just in third density. My goodness, when this goes on for infinity, we've got a ways to go as far as our third density self-awareness. So here we are in this wonderful part of the galaxy. If you can imagine this part of the galaxy, there's like, look, I'm going to use my police metaphor here. So think of a donut, okay? So imagine a donut is around this galactic circle, this equator that we have, right? The circumference. So every 225 million years, we pass through this particular area. So not only do we do it here, 250 million years, but also at 125 million years, because right on the other side of that. And this is an incredible time of new light, new energy, new information, new essential shamanic energy for us. And it's so exciting to be here as a shaman doing the work that we do.
It certainly is. And I feel like people who are drawn to your work, your books, my teachings, your all's teachings, they're going to feel, if they'll just stop for a minute and notice the differences for us, it's not as dense. Things aren't going to be as much of a struggle now. And I just really want to celebrate that with all of you, with all of your viewers, all of your community that you've so lovingly gathered. Yeah. Like the Hopi prophecy says, gather your people. It's time to gather and have strength in numbers and have everything be sacred ceremony. Finally, we're here. It's our time. And that feels really, really good I know for you and Jeannie and for myself as well. We've been doing this work in much denser energy and conditions for a long time.
Yes, we have. Yeah. And that's a great point about the ceremonies too. Because, as shamans of ascension or shamans who want to realize our destiny, we want to make sure as being a master shaman, we want to create our own ceremonies, our own rituals. We certainly have history to give us that proper foundation. And we certainly have those little intuitive nudges that gives us information about ceremonies and rituals. So now it's time to put all that together and to form and create and to share our own unique ceremonies and rituals. So you could imagine 1 million shamans, just using a figure, if we had 1 million shamans on Earth that were using their own specific, unique ceremonies and rituals, how that instantly would raise any vibration on Mother Earth, especially when they're all filled with aloha, which, being aloha shamans, that's certainly what we seek and we strive for, because we want this to be planet aloha. That's our intention. And like we were mentioning about, it is going to be so easy this year, or easier. Let me say easier, not easy. Easier because it's just like an airplane or jet. When it has a tailwind, it doesn't have to use as much fuel, and it gets that little extra push. You can imagine it's just like when you're sailing a boat, right? You've got some wind in your sails, and it just propels you forward so much easier than going against the wind. And like you mentioned, those denser energies. They've been here in the past few years, and it was almost like we were going against the wind. We were swimming upstream, but now we're able, let me use a nice Pisces term, we're able to go with the current, right? So how much easier will it be to go with the current? How much easier is it going to be to get things done? And especially to realize that we are destined to be the universal, the multidimensional shamans that we know we are. Because most of us are crawl-ins. We didn't do the walk-in thing, like Drumlow Melchizedek did. He came in as a 20-something. We came in through natural birth, and we had to go through all these things in 3D Earth to learn how things work, so that when we got to a specific point, we could be very effective and efficient teachers. I mean, for me, it's taken me 64 years to learn all this wonderful wisdom from the cosmos, wisdom from all my teachers and being able to share it. And also the wisdom from interacting with other shamans such as yourself. So thank you for being part of this great journey that all of us are on. And for those that are joining us, make sure you let us know that you're here. Let us know where you're from. So we know how much reach we have, and please share this with all your friends later on, and also you can let them know that if they missed the live, we have the replay. It'll be right on YouTube under lives under the Earth Star channel, and so please share it and click that like button, and make sure you click the notification button. So whenever we think we have something bright to share, please join us, and then we'll have a great time being together. So Evangeline, with all the wonderful things that you're doing right now, what would you say, what's on the forefront? What's the, because I know you have something going on now as far as class-wise, being in cyberspace. So give us an indication of what that might be and how people could join in on some of your other efforts.
Oh yeah, I'm so excited. We kicked off this year with a 21-day challenge, since it takes 21 days to repattern, create a new habit. And I was really gearing this challenge to people that have had this heart's desire to do something. And for some reason, they haven't written that book yet, or they haven't produced that podcast, or they want to create that online course. And maybe they just didn't know how to do that yet. So I made it a pivot challenge, and that pivot could have been just for fitness. It could have been health goals, whatever they wanted this year to be the year of their pivot for. And I structured that to really amp up in this 21 days that is quickly approaching. And it's been so fun for me because I wanted to gather information to see, where is my community at? How can I support them? And to go into New Earth entrepreneurship training. So like I was saying, for all the spiritual entrepreneurs that maybe they had a dream about a business and they saw that being really win-win, that they could help the world and they could have it be altruistic before, but maybe they got hurt. Maybe they were like, wow, I don't know if I'm cut out for business. I really want to help those type healers. And I found a very interesting little micro niche for myself that no one would have ever told me I'd be teaching and talking to tech-resistant healers, because that was me. That was definitely me 3 years ago. And I was so avoidant of technology, didn't feel like that was my realm. I felt like, no, I'm a natural healer. That's not me. And it's really come down to, now that we have this extra support, we have this tailwind to carry us along. I feel like this is the time for all of us who know that we came here to serve. We know in our hearts that we're here to help this world, just like you've always supported everyone that you've taught to find their superpowers and to do that. I feel like being the alchemist of our own life and transmuting resistance to technology, just like you and I have been doing with going live together. We've been going, we'll figure it out. We're just going to learn how to do it. And that's just a fun, exciting, hopeful way to approach these changes that are taking place on planet Earth, where it's like, why can't social media be a healing tool for us? Why can't technology be a tool that we use to help humanity? So that's the work that I'm doing right now in the trainings that I'm offering right now. And the New Earth Business School will be a beta testing group I'm going to do that in February. And then anybody who's like, okay, I love this. I want to see clients remote. I want to do distance sessions. They can go into my remote coaching training program in March.
Oh my goodness, you got a lot, and that's just the tip of the iceberg. So, welcome, Julie Blue. Thank you for joining us here this morning. Thank you for your energy and putting your shamanic energy in what we're doing. Thank you. Do you know Julie, Evangeline?
Maybe. Yeah. I know so many Julies and love so many Julies. So hey.
Hey, Julie Blue. Good. Thank you. Good. And so you're teaching shamans how to go online, how to promote themselves, and you're taking out all the things that you had to struggle through to find out the easiest way to do things. And now they can come to you for one-stop shopping. They can learn how to be an effective YouTuber, a teacher, and learning all those wonderful skills of being an effective instructor. So thank you so much for making that easier for people, because being a trailblazer like you are and a way shower, you create this beautiful wake of inclusiveness, and you're helping people to reach those skills and reach those dreams and goals that they want to reach as shamans. And it's wonderful that now you're teaching teachers so they can go out and spread the word. So it's an exponential expansion, elevation of all of our Aloha shamanism. So thank you so much for that. And I guess the 21-day challenge. Now, what will they do after the 21-day challenge? Will they continue on their own, or can they still come to you for support, for shamanic life coaching, business coaching?
Yes, they can do that. They're now in my new community. So I have a monthly membership, and that's what I kicked off the monthly membership with, where there will always be mentoring. If they want to stay in that program, they will continue to get my support and education and refreshment. Some of them will be like, okay, I wanted a kickstart to the year and I wanted to work on my writing or work on my health goals or whatever. Maybe that's enough for them. And then some of them will be like, no, I really want to move forward with being this way shower and community leader, and to create their own community online. See, that's one thing that I love about the way that you've always taught. You were always so inclusive, and now in this age of Aquarius, we have that inclusivity of fair distribution of knowledge for all. No longer like some of the people have the info, about how life works, and everybody else is just left in the dark. It's not like that anymore. And you really inspired me the way that you teach. Like, I remember when I was taking your Qigong training, and you're like, take this information, make it your own, put your own flavor on it. You were not grasping, holding on like, this is mine and you can't use it or whatever. And that's exactly how I operate in my courses with this challenge. I've been telling them, do your own challenge, because in doing so, you actually find out what kind of courses people want that are attracted to your work, because you're finding out where their pain points are. What are they having a hard time with? I know what I struggled with trying to come online. And my gosh, I was such a hermit as a hands-on practitioner. I hadn't even been on the internet for 4.5 years when I wrote my book. So I wrote my first book, and I was like, oh gosh, if I want anybody to read it, I'm going to have to put myself out there again. And so I know how difficult that can be sometimes. But also, like, what this pivot challenge has done for me, it's not only inspired me with my own goals, and like every day when I'm making time for my writing, making time for my workout, I'm thinking of them, because they're igniting me forward too. But I'm also learning what they want, how I can teach them and how I can lead them so that they can go lead their people. And that's what we both want. We want community leaders in our programs.
Yes. Wonderful. And thank you for noticing how I teach, and thank you for carrying on that shamanic tradition of, really, because, being intuitive people, well, of course, you're Pisces, you're uber, you're like superwoman intuitive with that, you Pisces. And, but I have 2 water signs, and I'm a rising Scorpio, and I'm a Cancer moon. So that's often led to lots of intuitive nudges with my Sagittarius fire. So that works out great. And then, Julie mentioned that she knows Katie with Weather Shaman. So that's how she
Hey.
has come to know you. So, yeah, Julie, we love Katie. And we're going to be doing an interview with her soon because she did one with me the end of December. So we're going to reciprocate and get her on here too as I learn a little more about this system. Okay. Evangeline, you mentioned something and a word you just used with trying to get people to understand their pain points or their choice points. Could you explain for folks that don't know what that means?
Oh, yeah. Because I feel like every single person that will be drawn to watch this, they have a course in them. They have at least one book in them, if not several. But I feel like how we serve this world the best is through the wounds and our own stories, the things that have happened to us when we become that alchemist of our life. Our greatest pain becomes our most potent medicine that we can offer to help the world. So that's all about that transmuting. The most difficult things we've ever been through become the gold, the gifts that we have to share. So I like to find out with what I've been through and what I've learned, okay, what can I help someone who's now struggling with that? And like I said, I'm pretty much right now working with people who were me 3 years ago. So it's just like former me that was struggling with the technology piece and I was going, I have so much I want to share. And I don't know how to do any of this stuff. I've been working with bodies. I've been working with the human body all these years, not with all this tech. And I cannot tell you how empowering it is to overcome that and decide the world is what I think it is from a shamanic perspective. So do I want to hold on to that belief that social media is negative and bad and this and that? No, it's not for me. It's a healing tool. And I only draw people to me now that are aligned with my message, my heart, what I have to share. And it's an absolutely beautiful thing at this point. So we can transmute anything we want to.
Oh, well, that's wonderful. Goodness, I'm motivated now. I'm going to go in there and sign up. That's such a wonderful job that you're teaching all this to people. And yes, pain is definitely a motivator. And, we don't want to feel pain anymore. And that's mind, body, and spirit pain. So, in other words, we want to be happy in mind, body, and spirit. So like Evangeline is talking about, if there's any pain in 2024, make sure we take a moment and realize I do not have to be in pain, whether it's the way I think, the way my body feels, or whether my spirit has a particular, it's lacking inspiration, or at least it's giving me inspiration, but I'm lacking the action to take part in that inspiration. So we want to make sure that, when things get to the point of pain, that means, we've had several nudges along the way. You've probably seen a billboard, you heard a radio show, you watched the Go Live, you got a book. I mean, you got all these things going on. So you got all these messages from the universe, but we really just kind of ignored it. So the good thing about this year, remember, we're in a figure 8 year. So, and the good thing about all that is going to recycle. Well, we don't want that pain to recycle. We want to make sure that when it comes along now, we take care of it right now. When we get a physical cut, what do? We don't sit there and just bleed all over the place for 2 or 3 days, right? We cover it up, we wash it, we put a Band-Aid on it, we take care of it, we keep it clean. So same thing with your mental realm, same thing with your spiritual realm. Make sure, and really for your physical realm, you want to make sure you take care of that pain right away, because that's the universe trying to tell you, hey, listen up. This is what's going on. Focus on this particular point and then take care of that. Okay. Oh, and welcome, TRA. Thank you for joining us this morning. Thank you. Yes, she says you're both speaking my language. Yes, indeed. Because everything here, of course, is all about Aloha. And now, Evangeline, when I mention Aloha and Aloha consciousness, I want to make sure that people know you actually lived in Maui, in Hawaii. Okay, just tell us briefly just about that, because we're right at the 24-minute mark now. So how was your experience in Hawaii?
Oh my goodness, it was wonderful. First time I ever went to Hawaii, I was 12, and I remembered it. I didn't know anything about Lemuria and Atlantis and all of those civilizations yet, but I did. I was accessing my memories even at 12 and going, this is my home. I feel so connected here. And I have felt that way about Hawaii my entire life. And I would love to also say what in reference to pain and what you were talking about how pain can be our blessing and our messenger. If anyone ever reads my chapter in the second book that I'm in, the energy medicine solution, it's all about how much pain I had to have to wake up in this, to fully remember who I was. For some people like me, it takes a lot. It takes a lot sometimes to activate and make us remember just how amazing it is to be human and how we came here to do such incredible things. And so I'm very grateful for my near-death experience.
Oh, that's great. Yes, because you could have died from your shamanic death experience. So glad you didn't. So glad you decided to be here, because you got things to do, place to go, people to see, and to teach. So thank you for that. So now Evangeline's link to her books, they're in the show notes. Just look down and click on that link. She has 2 wonderful books. And matter of fact, the first one was about teaching people how to run a so-called spiritual or healing business, right? So that's wonderful, because you are a massage therapist, but now you've moved on to classrooms and cyberspace, right?
Yes. And I never would have thought that I would enjoy remote energy work as much as I do. So for any of you out there that are hands-on with your healing work, and you may want to expand and all of a sudden be connecting with people all over the world like I am now, it reminds me of that book we read when we were kids, Oh, the Places You'll Go. I'm like, I sit in my office in my house now, and I'll be, one client's in Scotland, one's in San Diego, maybe the next one's in the Netherlands. And I just feel finally like a global shaman, like we always talked about that we are, but it's time we can really scale and expand in that way with our services.
Yeah. Oh, that's great too. And now, do you do shamanic life coaching and distant healing personally?
Yes.
Can people contact you?
Yes,
Okay, good. Yeah. And if they go to your website, they can find the information to contact.
They can contact me. I do not have a scheduling app on my website. Like, a lot of people will be like, well, where's your scheduling link? I like to do an intake. I like to vet people before I work with them, because I have a lot of students that are now graduates of my energy healing program. So if they're just really drawn to work with me, I will consider it. But what I do a lot is I refer to my graduates that are just stellar. They know their stuff. They're building their clientele, because I've been seeing clients for so long. I have a lot of regulars that I already see, but I'm open to it if the universe aligns for me to work with someone new. It's just more on a case by case basis.
Oh, that's great. Good. So you're doing shamanic life coaching, energy healing. You can do that over the phone. Do you do now? When I do this, I'm switching all my stuff to doing it online. I mean, now people can still come by here if they live locally, and we can do the shamanic life coaching, energy healing. But I've decided I can do this by telephone but I want to do a video. I don't want to do just talking with somebody. I want to be able to see them so they can see the energy coming towards them, or I can see their expression, so I can kind of gauge where we need to move the conversation. Because I was a detective for a few years, so I like looking at people, and I can gauge how they're speaking, and then we can move the conversation to a different place, because I know you want to do this for personal healing. So so contact either one of us if you have any of those concerns, and all that information, contact info is in the show notes. So we're getting near the half-hour mark. I'm trying to cut it off for Sagittarius and Pisces here. So if there's one thing you can leave people with for 2024, what do you think your last little bit of inspiration that you can share?
Ooh, yeah, we could talk for so long about so many things. Yes. But one thing I do want to say related to what you just said is something that I love to do with my students. And when I teach energy work over Zoom, the phone, at the computer, on the phone, to find their own style, because everybody has a really unique magic medicine that only they can do it that way. So for me, it varies. Sometimes we're face to face on a Zoom call. It depends on what I'm doing. Sometimes I need them to lie down, and I need them to close their eyes, and I need to be on the phone so that I can see in another way. And so, see with this chakra here. So that's something that I want to just excite people about. find your medicine, find your superpowers, like you're always talking about. Their way of doing a remote session won't be like yours. It won't be like mine. If they're really, truly authentic to their intuition. And that's what this year is all about: authenticity, community.
Oh my gosh, wonderful, wonderful send off for folks. And yes, and let me just echo, just try to use your own unique. Remember, we're all individual facets or unique expressions of our one infinite creator, just like a diamond, right? So each of us is an individual facet. So make sure, first of all, you know what your facet expresses. You know, what are your earth superpowers? If you have any of the books, you can find, I've got a worksheet in there where you can determine your earth superpowers. And also for this year, make sure that you definitely know where your power is as far as your mind, body, and spirit. So do we need to read more? Do we need to do more crossword puzzles? Do we need to actively meditate more? Because remember, we're meditating 24/7 because we're always conscious, right? I mean, even when we're sleeping and we deem ourselves to be unconscious, we're still meditating because we're still connected, right? We're always plugged in. That's a misnomer to think that we can possibly be disconnected in any way. So make sure you find out what makes your mind stronger, your mental aptitude stronger. For your body, definitely make sure you take care of your physical health. Make sure you get some sunlight. Make sure you find nature some way, somehow. Okay? Make sure you drink what makes you happy, eat what makes you happy. I would ask you to consider the diet you have, because all the nutrition information we were taught for the past 20, 30 years, they may be questionable. Okay? So think about, like Jeannie and I, we do a carnivore diet. So we're trying to eat as our ancestors ate, right? And we feel great. We've been doing it for 6 months now. We feel so energized. We've had all our tests done at the doctors and everything are great. The doctor told me, just keep doing what you're doing because it works for you. So you don't have to do a carnivore diet, but do a keto diet. Try to get away from processed foods. That's, eat real food, right? When you go into a grocery store, stick to the outside edges because that's where the produce is. That's where the meat section is. That's where the dairy is. So, we'll get on those inside aisles of a grocery store. That's the stuff that's not going to make us feel good. Okay? So try to take care of your body that way. And make sure you do some kind of energy work, whether it's breathing, Qigong, Tai Chi. And also, it's another thing Evangeline does. Another one of her hats. She's a certified Qigong instructor. So I forgot to mention that on the class notes earlier, but she also does that too. And then for spiritual, make sure that you listen to the inspiration received, because your higher self, the universe, it's giving you so much information because you want to know this information. That's how it knows to channel it to you. So make sure you do that. Pay attention, be the best shaman you can be, and remember to see, hear, and feel aloha at every single moment, because we are shamans of aloha, and that is our destiny. So thank you for being here today, Evangeline Hemrick. I hope you have a wonderful day, wonderful next week, this month, and check all the info in the show notes, and we'll talk to y'all later. All right. See, hear, and feel you later. All right.